Save $7 on fresh certified Angus beef prime boneless strip steaks, $15.99 per pound. All varieties of imported potatoes, just $3.99 for a 5-pound bag. 52-ounce bottle of Tropicana orange juice, $4.99 for select varieties. Kellogg's Frosted Flakes cereal, $6.49 for a 19.2-ounce box. Bertolli olive oil, $11.49 for select varieties of 25.3-ounce bottles. Visit our website at www.marketplace.bm for more super specials.
You can count on us.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Thursday, March 14th. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us. The Municipalities Reform Act may have been passed in the lower house, but it appears that does not mean the fight to preserve the corporations of Hamilton and St. George is over. In recent interviews with Gary Moreno, the mayors of both municipalities offer that there may still be a chance of avoiding the transformation into quangos.
The legislation was passed with a clear vote along party lines 22-7 and will now be taken up by the Senate. Quennell Francis, the mayor of St. George, maintains there was no need for the old town to be brought into this situation.
I believe that it's not St. George's that they're really targeting, and because the Municipalities Act 1923 contains both of us, and therefore you have to do both. And I'm not sure if it's a land grab or asset grab or a takeover as such. I just know that St. George's is caught up into something.
Ms. Francis says government may not fully understand, though, the real cost of the decision to, quote-unquote, take over St. George's.
St. George has not had the attention that it's been required for the last 8 years. And I've been here for 8 years, so I'm going to speak for the 8 years because our infrastructure has aged even more, and it's going to be quite a lot of investment that's going to be required. And I don't know if the government realize exactly what they're getting into when they want to take over or become a quango and take the control of St. George.
As we've been reporting, a significant majority of residents and businesses in St. George's want the municipality to maintain its current status. And according to Ms. Francis, that includes a soon-to-be new neighbor.
We've actually met with the developers, and they have expressed their concerns, and they have said that they hope that the corporation will remain as is, and they will speak to the minister where they feel fit.
As a last recourse against the move, the St. George's mayor is hoping that members of the upper house could intervene.
The Senate might be somewhere that it may get stopped. There have been some senators that have reached out to myself in reference to this whole thing and research-wise, so you never know how the senators or the independent senators may be thinking in this time and could sort of halt it. But I think it's a done deal, so to say, that it's something that's been pushed through, and the government of the day will definitely make sure they see this through.
The Corporation of Hamilton, however, is taking a more strident approach, not wanting to have its fate decided without putting up a fight. Mayor Charles Gosling making that quite clear.
I think they think it's a foregone conclusion. I know it's not.
And what gives you the authority to say that it's not, or what gives you the confidence to say that it's not, rather?
We've already engaged with the legal counsel. We are in the process of setting up a writ. We are looking at what would be the best timing to issue such an item, and we are very, very confident in what we have going forward.
Now, even if Mayor Francis has granted her wish and the bill is in fact blocked in the Senate, government can simply wait 1 year before once again picking it up. And if it's successful on the second try, it goes straight to Government House for assent or perhaps veto, as a governor does have the authority to do. However, the latter seldom ever happens. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Gary. A fresh warning tonight that it remains a serious offense to smuggle any contraband into the Westgate property. It comes from the National Security Minister Wayne Keynes in reaction to reports of remote-controlled aerial drones being used to drop off contraband at the men's prison. As Tarai Trot tells us, the government is taking the matter very seriously and is considering new measures to not only catch the offenders, but to possibly regulate future drone flights.
It was on February 3rd when we first reported a sighting from prison officials of a remote-controlled drone allegedly seen hovering over the Westgate Correctional Facility during the early morning hours. Police were promptly notified, however, no one has been charged over the incident. Reacting formally to the incident, National Security Minister Wayne Keynes told Mike Sharp the incident was not the first time.
It is with regret that I must inform the people of Bermuda that there have been attempts on more than one occasion to take contraband into the Westgate Correctional Facility by use of a drone aerial device. I must remind the people of Bermuda that it is indeed a criminal offense to take any contraband into the Westgate Correctional Facility.
Police and prison officials are said to be working hard behind the scenes in using all resources available to bring the offenders to justice.
I have spoken with the acting Commissioner of Corrections and the Commissioner of Police, and they are now working together to use intelligence and operational policing to indeed try to bring that person to justice, or those persons to justice that are trying to take our narcotics and contraband into the Westgate Correctional Facility.
Unmanned aerial vehicles, also known as drones, have skyrocketed in popularity in recent years due to advances in technology and dropping prices overseas. While the average consumer drone is not designed to carry a payload, it can be modified by someone with specific technical knowledge.
From a general perspective, we can see globally where drones are used for a number of positive things, and in certain circumstances they're used for nefarious purpose. We have what we believe is a robust plan that we can put in place, whether it's by radar, whether it's by a specific blanket that harnesses the frequencies and prevents drones from going in.
Minister Keynes sees the issue as an opportunity to examine drone laws and licensing procedures.
Now you only have to have a drone licensed if it's being used for a commercial purpose. Well, we have to now look at what the opportunities are for us to license drones generally, and consider even licensing them for if they're being used for recreational purpose. I'm not saying that that is going to be the case. I'm saying now we have to consider all of the opportunities to make sure that our skies are indeed safe.
That was Tarai Trot reporting. Another government ministry being hauled before the courts. This time, it's the Ministry of Home Affairs. A writ has been filed in the Supreme Court by a Miss Lillian Casey Martin against Minister Walton Brown, reportedly over an immigration matter as it pertains to the sale of property, namely Agers Island in the Great Sound. Immigration, however, comes under National Security Minister Wayne Keynes. Agers Island was up until 2014 the home of Dr. James Martin, a world-renowned computer scientist and entrepreneur. Dr. Martin passed away in 2013, and it is understood he may not have had proper title for the property. His relatives said to be a restricted person has sought a license to sell Agers Island, but we understand was denied due to Mr. Martin not having proper title. The island has been up for sale since 2014 and has been listed in a number of international real estate publications. We have reached out to Ms. Martin's attorney Cox Hallett and Wilkinson to try and find out the exact nature of the writ, but they are yet to return our call. We were, however, advised that Mr. David Kesseram is handling the matter. Calls to the Ministry of National Security met with the response that the matter is before the courts, and as such, there will be no comment forthcoming. And we'll have more for you after this short break, including all the latest weather news. Stay with us.
When did sleep start requiring effort? What if it didn't have to? That's why every Tempur-Pedic mattress is engineered with advanced pressure-relieving material, so you get the deepest sleep you've had ever. Sleep effortlessly with the superior comfort of Tempur-Pedic.
Enjoy the world's finest beds at Furniture Walk, 12 Harvey Road, Paget, 292-5209.
There's nothing like Tempur-Pedic sleep.
The Marketplace Food Court is you and your family's one-stop shop. Start your day at the Breakfast Bar with omelets made to order and traditional Bermuda codfish breakfast. The chefs will cook lunch and dinner to your liking. Along with the salad bar, sandwich bar, sushi bar, and fruit bar, the Marketplace Food Court is your kitchen away from home. Every day is hassle-free with nutritious meals from the Marketplace Food Court. Visit us 7 days a week. Homemade cooking, quality service, all at prices you can count on.
Cal's wondering, do cell phone and internet providers really look out for his best interests? And what about electricity? Like most people, Cal's had his share of bad experiences with service providers. Yet, he also has friends in the industry who go above and beyond for customers. As a consumer, your experience shouldn't be hit and miss, which is why the regulatory authority is introducing consumer protection standards. Cal likes that. The standards will mean improved frontline staff training, fair and honest marketing and advertising, better handling of complaints, easy to understand billing, and protection for vulnerable consumers. The new guidelines will also set service standards for managing outages, customer data privacy, and more. The regulatory authority wants to know what's important to you. It's easy to have your say. Go to rab.bm to be part of the Consumer Protection Public Consultation.
Thanks for staying with us. There is no computer virus that exists known to install, search for child abusive material, and download it to a computer. That's what an American forensic computer analyst told a Supreme Court jury today. It was during the trial of a 30-year-old man charged with several counts of accessing images of child sexual exploitation. The Crown's key witness, computer forensic examiner David Graham, formerly of the Attorney General's Office of Virginia, told a jury today it was improbable that a computer virus caused offensive material to end up on the defendant's laptop. The 30-year-old defendant, who cannot be named for legal reasons, denies 8 counts of accessing over 1,200 videos and images depicting the exploitation of children. Based on his findings, having analyzed a Toshiba laptop found by police officers underneath the defendant's bed, there were several images and videos found to have been downloaded through peer-to-peer sharing software. Mr. Graham agreed with the report produced by the defense's IT experts at Fort Knox Limited, saying that there were 4 pieces of suspect software on the laptop, possible computer viruses which attempt to extract personal information from the user. He told the jury, "It's my opinion there was no analysis performed to see if these were running. The files that I located through this examination showed other evidence suggesting the origin of these images, such as search terms related to child abuse and folders of material." He added, quote, "There isn't a virus known that's able to install the file sharing software, then type in the search terms for child abusive material, then download the results and save it to the computer." Yesterday, Mr. Graham described to the jury a list of sexually graphic search terms related to children found on the defendant's computer. Prosecutor Larry Mussenden asked, "Do viruses download program files?" Mr. Graham said these were installed by the user. He further asked, "Can a virus type in a search bar, feds watching?" To which he replied, "No." IT staff at Fort Knox Limited, on behalf of the defense team, examined the computer on 5 occasions at the police criminal investigation unit. Based on their resumes, he said, they've had many years of training in IT, but said there was nothing to indicate any forensic computer training. He added the main difference between computer forensic specialists and IT professionals is we deal more with determining and preserving evidence found on computers. Mr. Graham disagreed with the statement that the Fort Knox team has not deleted, manipulated, altered any data in any way that would compromise the integrity of the information and, by extension, the investigation. As a computer forensic examiner, he says it's the gospel as part of training guidelines that if a computer is off, leave it off. He said the Fort Knox team did turn on the computer when performing their examination, which means things are being altered and deleted as part of the startup process. To the contrary, he said, "I removed the hard drive before I turned on the computer. This prevents me from booting up the software. My job," he adds, "is to preserve the evidence." He agreed with the Fort Knox report that there were several pieces of evidence, including 1,087 images of child endangerment found amongst folders containing movies, music files, and family pictures. The defense, led by Jerome Lynch QC, are expected to give evidence tomorrow. The trial continues. After nearly 3 decades in service, the Oleander container ship will be sailing off into the sunset, but not before a brand new custom-built vessel replaces her. The new MV Oleander is expected to arrive in Bermuda tomorrow, transiting Hamilton Harbor between 3:15 and 3:45 in the afternoon. A welcome ceremony will take place, including the traditional water salute. The new Oleander set off from China, where it was built in February, and has traveled thousands of miles. It just last week passed through the Panama Canal. The vessel is longer and wider than the one you're used to seeing and is more fuel efficient at higher speeds. Bermuda Broadcasting's Tony Waterman has an exclusive spot on the Oleander tomorrow afternoon, and she will be doing live interviews on Channel 9 as the ship passes through the harbor. We will be going live during tomorrow's evening newscast as well. Weather now, let's go to the AccuWeather headquarters for the latest.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
Good evening. The BF&M Insurance Group is bringing you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm your AccuWeather meteorologist, Dajia Swad. As we continue into the satellite, we do notice we have clouds in the area, but most of that moisture is out towards our east, and that's going to continue to be the case through this evening. So here's a look a bit closer at your estimated satellite radar. You're looking at the shower activity once again to the east of the island. We'll just be looking at clouds and some cooler air across Hamilton, St. George's, and Somerset and Dock Yard currently. You're looking at a humidity 61%, winds out of the northeast at 10 to 15 knots, and waves in the reef 1 to 2 feet, waves out running 3 to 5 feet. As far as your upcoming tides go, our next low tide is going to be at 9:07 p.m. tonight, followed by our high tide at 3:36 a.m. on your Friday morning. Low tide going to be followed at 10:21 a.m. tomorrow morning, and 4 p.m. tomorrow is your next high tide to follow that low tide at 10:21 a.m. Now, as we talk about tonight's forecast, clouds available to us, but not precipitation, dropping down to 59. And into tomorrow, we'll begin to notice a more southerly flow taking back over as we have high pressure moving out of the area. So that's going to promote a more southerly flow here. Winds will help bring our temperatures in the upper 60s, low of 60 for your Friday. Now, as we talk about wet weather creeping into the weekend, we will be tracking out a cold front. This front will be bringing some wet conditions late Saturday and continuing into your Sunday. And we'll also notice another wave of energy developing on the tail end, which could continue to bring in the chance for some more winds as well as wet weather late Sunday. Current conditions across the Caribbean in the 80s across Jamaica for today, and that's going to continue for tomorrow. And then you'll be looking at lows in the lower 70s for Jamaica with some shower activity. Also going to be noticing some shower activity for Barbados. As for Trinidad, partly sunny skies, topping off at 88 for your high and 71 for the low. And no tropical development, still pretty calm across much of the windwards. Now, as we move in towards your gateway forecast, packing up the suitcases maybe to head somewhere fun, there's a lot of wet weather going on in many locations. So for Toronto, 48 for your high, 27 for the low with rain. Thunderstorms potentially in towards New York, even extending down towards Atlanta due to a frontal system. That same front will be the one that comes into our area for the weekend. As for Miami, on the dry side with a high of 84, partly sunny skies. Now for our extended forecast, tomorrow as well as Saturday, dry, but Saturday clouds will continue to increase with a high of 69. We'll still have that southerly flow here as we continue into your Sunday with a high of 70, but rain and wet weather extends all the way into your extended forecast. So enjoy the dry days before the wet weather comes.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
Michaela, and this is Taking Off, the security pre-clearance process at the LFA International Airport for anyone traveling to the U.S. just got a whole lot easier and more tech-savvy. Passengers can now show their boarding pass on a mobile device before entering the U.S. Customs and Border Protection area and when clearing security instead of using the printed copy. This feature has been available for quite some time for non-U.S. bound flights on Air Canada and WestJet to Toronto and British Airways to London. But thanks to coordination with U.S. carriers, Delta, American Airlines, JetBlue, and United, and TSA and U.S. Customs and Border Protection officials, the feature is now available to those traveling to the U.S. So the next time you travel, don't worry about printing your boarding pass. Load it up on your smartphone, iPhone or Android, and you'll be good to go. It will be one less thing to think about when traveling out of Bermuda. See you next time.
Well, it's no big secret that the town of St. George has become rather sleepy, especially in the winter months. The economy has struggled for years as shops closed, hotels pulled out, and cruise ships, now bigger than ever, dock at the opposite end of the island. But a turning point could be on the horizon. The St. Regis Hotel development and the airport construction project are already having an impact on the old town, but an even bigger one could be on the way. On the breakdown tonight, Tony Wadman heads to St. George to see if the town is on the verge of an economic renaissance and what needs to change for St. George to reach its full potential.
Why shouldn't the taxi industry be disrupted in a very major way for the benefit of tourism as a whole?
There's been talk in the past about moving away from individual operators and having a company that provides a model that services the entire island. But all of that will require cooperation. Buy-in on the part of all the operators, and looking at the best possible method that's going to provide the end consumer, the commuter, with the service that they're looking for.
You can catch that entire interview on The Breakdown with Tony Wadman tonight at 8 o'clock on ZBM TV 9. Well, the Minister of National Security, Wayne Kane, says they are seeking 16 new police officers to fill their ranks in the Bermuda Police Service. The recruitment campaign commenced this month. Suitable candidates are invited to apply by no later than Monday, April 8th.
This is good news for the people of Bermuda. We have a number of our young men and women that are looking for an employment opportunity. On April 8th, or prior to April 8th, we're encouraging anyone between the ages of 18 and 49, if you're in relatively good shape, if you can pass a basic fitness test and a psychological test and a basic exam. The Bermuda Police Service is looking for young men and young women to join its ranks. The starting salary is just under $73,000 a year. The training program is about 18 weeks. They have recently started taking applications, and the deadline for applications is April 8th, 2020.
Is it the hope that you won't have to go overseas?
Well, that's an interesting perspective. The Bermuda Police Service normally has the recruits that are filled with young and middle-aged Bermudians. The challenge comes for specific roles within, whether it's forensics or whether it's in specialist. There are specialist roles. A number of the firearms officers are brought in from overseas. What we believe is with the proper training, the proper aptitudes, and we know that all exists in Bermuda, that we can train rightly and capable people to go through the ranks, and they can go abroad for specialist training and come back and join the Bermuda Police Service.
Minister Kane speaking there with our Mike Sharp. Still to come, Earl Basin will have all the latest sports news in just a few minutes.
Surface Trends is proud to offer Bermuda's best selection of natural and exotic stone, carefully selected and imported from Italy and Brazil. We also stock the newest collection from Caesar Stone and Silestone. Don't forget our wide variety of gorgeous porcelain wood plank tiles, including our exclusive Bermuda cedar tile, as well as natural travertines suitable for outdoors and indoors. Bathroom and pool tiles are in stock too. Stop by our showroom at 17 Serpentine Road, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1.
Sport now, and in the headlines, Bermuda's under-14 boys tennis team go down 2-1 to Honduras. Bermuda Special Olympians begin competing in track and field and tennis, and BAA advanced to the FA Challenge Cup semifinals following their 3-1 win over St. David's. Earl Basin has more in tonight's sports report.
The Bermuda team of Antonio Warner, Bobby Bart, and Mackay Witter are now 2-1 while taking part in the ITF World Junior Team Tennis Tournament going on in Santo Domingo. Their third game of the tournament, Bermuda would take on the tournament's number 1 seed, Honduras, and would go down 2-1. Honduras would take the 1-0 lead when Diego Sosa defeated Warner in straight sets 6-3, 6-2. Bermuda would draw level at 1-1 when Witter defeated Guillermo Banaton in a 3-hour and 8-minute 3-set battle, 7-6, 4-6, 6-love. The match would be decided in the doubles as the Honduras pair of Banaton and Antonio Chavez defeated Warner and Witter in straight sets 6-3, 6-2. FIFA and CONCACAF are using Bermuda as a case study, and Sharice Bean, Bermuda Football Association chairperson of women's football, was asked to make a presentation during FIFA's Women's Football Conference in Mexico recently. And to her surprise,
I thought that we were just doing what everyone else was doing, but found out that the small things that we're doing, our social media pages, having open discussions, doing surveys of our clients and things like that. Some of the other islands and countries in CONCACAF were not doing, and they found it very positive. At the end, they wanted some more information, our education forums, what we've been doing in that aspect. So, yeah, it was a positive feedback.
Bermuda Special Olympians have settled in Dubai, and a few have begun in preliminary events. Janasia Maloney competed in the 100-meter walk division F02, Heat 1. She would cross the line 5th in a time of 41.11. Bridget Marshall took to the tennis court to play against the USA, going down by 1 point. Micah Lambert also played tennis and played the same player from the USA, with Lambert picking up the win. BAA have advanced to the FA Challenge Cup semi-finals, where they will take on the defending champions Robin Hood following their 3-1 quarter-final win over St. David's at the BAA field last evening. Victor Capitolo would give BAA the lead when he scored from close range in the 42nd minute. The lead was doubled when Tyrell Burgess scored in the 53rd minute. Nathan Rigo would make it 3-0 to BAA when he found the back of the net in the 65th minute. But it would be St. David's who would score the final goal of the game in the 83rd minute when Jerome Daniels found the back of the net. Bermuda's final phase of the 2019 FAI World Jumping Challenge took place at the National Equestrian Center on Visa Street, and today we take a look at the overall Bermuda Division champions. In the Aeon Trophy 1.20 to 1.30 meter category A division, Philip Correa and his talented chestnut stallion Emerson were crowned the champions. This team accumulated results of 0 faults in a time of 99.88. In the Nightmare Trophy 1.10 to 1.20 meter category B, so Courtney Bumby, riding Worth the Wait, claimed the division. They had 0 faults and an accumulative time of 104.96. The Central Carolina Trophy 1 meter to 1.10 meter category C division, so Cody Rigo, riding Casanova, were declared the winners. They had 0 penalty fault points in an accumulative time of 108.33. The Bermuda Basketball League continued inside the Bermuda College Gymnasium last evening with 215 points put on the board in a doubleheader. In Game 1, the Southampton Wolfpack defeated the Warwick Rimrockers 65-55. Kirby Reed led the Southampton Wolfpack to victory with 19 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Dominic Smith scored 19 points for the Warwick Rimrockers to go along with 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. Game 2 saw the Somerset Tsunamis defeat the Smith Court Kings 66-29. The Bermuda Ball Hockey playoffs continued at the PCC Hockey Rink yesterday evening with a total of 13 goals scored in the doubleheader. In the opener, the Kelowna Rockets defeated the Guelph Storm 6-2. The Kelowna Rockets got 2 goals off the stick of Adam Matatal, while Shane Machat, Chris Coleman, John Tolbert, and Jeffrey Engelman all added a goal each. J.M. Tremblay and Christopher Merritt scored a goal each for the Guelph Storm. In the nightcap, the Calgary Hitman defeated the Red Deer Rebels 4-1. In second spring senior bowling league action at the Warwick Lanes, it saw the newcomers defeat the Islanders 3-1. The Last Pins and the Drifters finished their match deadlock at 2-2. The Last Minutes went down 3-1 to Just Kickin', and the Pin Splitters went down 3-1 to the Blue Angels. I'm Earl Basden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
You can count on us.
value pack of fresh Purdue chicken pies, only $1.99 per pound. Save $2 on juicy red or white seedless grapes, $3.99 per pound. Just $1.79 for a 500-gram package of tamapeni, rigate, or fettuccine. Save $1.50 on Bertolli pasta sauce, $3.99 for select varieties of 24-ounce jars. Frozen Vieira Portuguese rolls, $4.79 for a 6-pack. All stores open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
You can count on us.
At Argus, our interest is you. Each of you. Around here, we know that when two people seem the same, they can have very different insurance needs. For their health, home, work, and future. Which is why we take the time to get to know you as an individual, so we can provide insurance coverage that fits your life. Because after all, our interest is you.
The Bermuda Sloop Foundation will host its annual Pirates of Bermuda event Saturday, March 16th at the #1 car park on Front Street from 2 to 4:30 p.m. The rain date is Sunday, March 17th. Come out to watch the hostages on board Spirit of Bermuda walk the plank into the chilly harbor waters. Donate to sink or save them for ransom on PTIX or donate on the day. All proceeds go towards the school voyage program and the Spirit of Bermuda. Call 737-5667 or email info@bermudasloop.org.
And thank you for tuning in for tonight's program. We hope to see you again at the same time tomorrow. I'm Jasmine Patterson. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.